Well, it's the crack. We are back. Pete's got that new mic. After a few horrendous Euros predictions, we finally decided to go live again and show our faces and come to the rat of the world. Especially, look, before I start, I'm going to introduce John first because we got a lot to talk about. John, how you doing, bud?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. It's good to be back on here, man. It's been a little while.
It's been a while.
Don't worry about it, boys. We got a lot of predictions wrong as well. So, yeah, don't worry about it, man.
Everyone have. Big up Killian in early. Let's go. Yup.
Yeah.
Come on, Killian. But,
Big up Killian.
we're back. And I don't know, we're back for the Euros chat, I suppose. But, Pete, first of all, how are you going, I suppose? Look, shout out to Peter, got that blue Yeti. Mine will be coming soon, so the quality is just coming up. Yeah, we had to plug that, Peter. Work away there.
Yeah, look, the Wi-Fi's moving a bit mad, but I'm feeling fresh. Got the Yeti going. Yeah, I haven't got the predictions going, but it's all good. We're back. We might get one right for Sunday, but yeah, come on.
We might.
It's good to be back. Shout out to a few of the people just before we start. Big up Daz TV, who's winning it, lads. Yeah, not who we say anyways. Don't listen to us. Make sure to sub to Daz TV as well. We'll probably do a video with him very soon. But yeah, don't listen to us if you're going back to what we've said. Big up Killian again. Spaghetti Mafia Madolina. Yeah, big Italy fan there. Big Italy fan. But like yourself, John, you're an Italy fan, are you? Like, is that just you have got a bit of Italian connections? Am I right there?
So my mom is Italian, and I was born in Florence, and I lived there for 10 years.
So you're Italian, pure Italy all the way for this final, so.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I am. I would support England as well, but the media always kills it for me. I'll be honest, man.
Yeah.
What Rio Ferdinand did the other day is a classic example of the British media. So.
I didn't actually see what he did, but Rio loves to do his thing.
Yeah, he's done the Ollie thing as well before. So
why don't they just
hilarious.
Buy Italy? Why don't they just buy Newcastle? What?
Yeah,
I don't even want to get into Rio Ferdinand tonight. I don't want to get into Rio tonight, please.
Let's not get onto Rio. Yeah, let's not get onto Rio, man.
Obviously, we're chatting Italy there. We'll go to yesterday's. Actually, we'll wait. We've got Flawless hopefully coming on soon. He's going to come in any second now. But we'll go to the Italy game first because that's one game. Me and Peter both had games ourselves last night, so we didn't really see much of the England game. So we'll go. You've seen it all. I didn't, but we'll go to that. Come on, I'll say less. But we'll go to that Italian game. I thought Italy Spain. Pete, I thought it was a quality game. I thought Spain were the better side, but go on, take it away. What did you make of it?
Yeah, looking at that, Spain most definitely were the better side. I was very bullish on Italy, kind of since they got out of the group, but then they were looking a bit shaky, at times at Spain. I think England could maybe make a push on that, but come on, the class of them centre-backs, Chiellini, Bonucci, them guys know ball. They know ball. Donnarumma is a big presence in the net. Spinazzola is a big miss. He is a big miss. But for me, that defines a class international team. Even when they're up against the Kosh, Spain should have won that game, but they just didn't have that killer edge that Italy did possess because when they got a chance, they finished it. And that really was the difference between the two sides. It's a weird one because I think both teams could have done better in their semi-finals and looked a bit uncertain at times.
Yeah.
So it is going to be interesting. What do you make of it, John?
I thought you summarized it very well there. I thought Spain definitely deserved to win. But I think Italy, what I would say about Italy is Italy wanted to play from the back like they have done all tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think they realized very quickly that Spain's pressing was too good. And Spain purposely let Chiellini get the ball, especially, who's the weakest link in terms of passing from the back. So that led to a lot of long balls. They would win the headers, and then they will fall always to Busquets, who Busquets already knows what's going on. So within one or two touches, the ball is already out of his feet. So you've got to press him, and now there's space somewhere else. And Pedri and Koke were really taking up the space well. So I think Italy after a bit just realized, listen, today's not going to be our day to pass from the back. We just have to find a way to counter-attack and be effective at it. And Chiesa was their main man for that.
Yeah.
And I thought his goal was brilliant goal. Class goal, brilliant finish. I think after that, the subs hurt Italy a bit, taking off Insigne. Who else did they take off? They took off Verratti. I thought that hurt them.
Yeah. I think Verratti's obviously a class act. I'm a big fan. I just don't think Verratti has the legs to play at all. Like, he's just not that fit. I suppose he likes the odd fag and a few beers, like with Paris. That's actually a known thing. He likes to party. But Verratti's a class footballer, man. I thought him. But I want to give a mention to Pedri. I thought Pedri was absolute best player on the pitch.
He was superb. He was superb.
He was just superb. Quality. He was just like, I hate doing these comparisons, but it was such a similar Iniesta performance, getting on the half turn and waiting past.
No.
You won't be. No.
We're not having that.
No. I'm allowed to say. I'm like,
it's early days, yeah.
Early days.
Similar. He played how Iniesta plays, is what I'm saying.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Same style. I'm not saying
same style.
Same style.
You mentioned it. Mr. Diaz of Sergio Busquets. Can we put respect on his name?
Biscuits,
bro,
yeah.
Tell me about it, man. Hey, no, man. He's sick. Brilliant, man.
Yeah, he gets no goals and assists, Pete, so he's not that good, man.
He's not good. His pace is so low.
Kylian's saying he's the next Xavi or Iniesta. I wasn't going to say that. I'll let you say that, Kylian, because
I'm not going to say it. I understand where Kylian's coming from, but I'm not going to say
same club, same country sort of thing, so it's easy to say big up to
people
Jalil.
People are mad to make them comparisons early, putting that pressure on.
From real talk as well. And Jalil, just we'll get to your other comment in a minute, Jalil, when we're chatting. And you were sure of this from the start, so I'll say less for now. But yeah, it's so easy to make the comparisons. I didn't want to say it. I just said it's the way he was playing is the way Iniesta played. But
you know, my only issue is that, like, Pedri's a baller, right? And the biggest compliment I would give him in the game is that he made all the right passes at the right time. Like, he never got phased or carried away. Like, all of his passes were very precise.
He was very composed.
Very composed for somebody of his age. I just the way you described it, Demo, I'm not mad at that. He has a similar Iniesta style. My issue is more with like Luis Enrique's comment that Iniesta wasn't playing like that at 18 years old.
Yeah, just put so much pressure on him.
Just don't kill the kid. He's 18. Yeah. Like, please, just let him.
Kind of like it's kind of like Phil Foden, kind of, isn't it?
Do you know who this reminds me of? This reminds me of. Wasn't as good, I don't think, as a talent at that age. But remember Bojan. 18,
Bojan.
19. These guys were saying like, nah, Messi was never this good at this age.
I remember that.
All this and like Bojan's going to be next this. Bang. I clop it a few years later. I'm watching Match of the Day and my man's playing for Stoke.
Stoke alone.
That's a Stoke.
Did I miss a couple of steps or you know what's going on here? That's what I mean.
It's not just him. You guys remember Giovanni Dos Santos, the new Ronaldinho?
Yeah.
Funny thing on Bojan, I remember standing behind him in Barcelona airport. I just get that one out there, and I looked it up. I remember it's like that Bojan. And I was like, yeah, it is. I think he was playing, and I was like, who's? Because he had left Stoke. I think he was playing for like some USA team.
That's where they all go. That's where they all go.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
Rejects.
Facts.
But they're living out. They're living the life, man.
Hey, that's harsh, Pete, man. Hey, Pete, that's harsh, man.
Shout out to Jack Coleman there, Busquets. But yeah, they did. Like they did. Like if it wasn't for, I can never.
Arita Bigal.
Yeah,
that dog.
Whatever.
Whatever his name is, man.
Ways, man. Cannot. Like my guy. Do you see that one with the ball? Koke played an inch perfect pass.
It was Pedri, bro. It was Pedri.
Was it?
Pedri.
Yeah, didn't even throw his head at it. Oh my days!
Oh no, sorry. That one was.
That one was Koke. Yeah,
sorry, that one was Koke. I thought you meant the one in the first half.
Oh, I don't even think I need to mention that one. Yeah, let's just leave that one.
Shout
out to Ike there. Yeah, I was saying this to Peter off there. Jorginho's been my player of the tournament, though. Loki, he's been my player of the tournament, anyways. I don't know about. There's no absolute standout where you'd say it has to be him, but like.
Severely underrated, especially even at Chelsea. I think that role, I said this a couple of weeks ago, I think it's called a regista or something like this.
Regista.
It's like I call it the quarterback. I said this before, but just because he's playing in the holding role, people are, but he's not putting in the challenges. That's not his game. He doesn't need that. That's why there's, you know what I mean, the dogs in beside him who are going to do that work. He opens it up and he just takes the pressure off, like Busquets does. Just takes the pressure off, and then bang, there's 2-3 players running either side. That's what you need, because do you know when international football is real cagey, you need that one guy in the midfield to just break it, and then you straight away counterattack, and it's a goal.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
You're right. And him and Busquets are both. Obviously, I'm not going to compare them, but what they do is severely underrated. And also, Busquets and Jorginho, they intercept a lot more passes than they're given credit for. And intercepting is part of the game. You don't always have to make a challenge.
Yeah, people are, because he's not putting in 2 foot, he's not doing a big Roy Keane challenge, he's not a good holding midfielder.
McTominay challenge, man.
Yeah, surely
McTominay.
the guys are doing it. Yeah, come on, we'll leave that. I'm not going to shout out to when Dearman was saying in the group stages McSauce was going to pull off a madness and beat England, but
I'd say I was ripping the piss there. I'd say John even knows I was ripping the piss that I've never.
Serious. He was half serious.
Listen. You know what? That coming from Jack, big up Jack Coleman. That coming there.
Shout out, Jack.
Football's done. You're right, Jack. Big up to you, man. Respect.
Can we say this, Jack? Yeah?
Respect.
No.
Respect,
I'm going to go back at you there.
Respect, man. Respect, man.
Greece won the Euros in 04. Like, who did Greece have in their midfield? Like, it's
no. But the most scandalous thing for me is the teams England have come with and gone with so less. You know, they've had these wonderful midfielders: Gerrard, Lampard, Beckham, all these guys, Scholes. And then you're telling me you're going to win. You're in a final with Phillips and Declan Rice holding. Oh my days!
The Irishman,
a hipster and an Irishman. What? Who would have known?
Who would have known? It's football.
All I'm going to say is an apology needs to be given by me and Diarmuid. Yeah. And I don't know if you're going to do it, but I'm sorry, Gareth Southgate. I just didn't like you. Yeah, I didn't like.
Are you guys actually apologizing to him?
I will. When we get it wrong, we'll say it. Like
he is playing the most tournament football. It's the most boring football, but guess what? It's got them into a Euro final, which they are favourites for.
Yeah,
you're right.
And I can't even be mad at that because they've just played the most ugly international football, but that's what wins your tournaments.
You know what?
No one's going to give a shite on Sunday night when they're all celebrating mad on the beer if you win.
I feel like England have literally just played football. You know when you play football almost to make the opposition fall asleep.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they did.
They just switch off, and then Sterling goes for a dive. Bang! It's easy.
Yeah,
let's not talk about that.
That was
coming.
Great.
I have a few opinions on that. We'll get into it.
Let's not talk about that, please.
I underestimated this before the tournament as well. I didn't realize England would get they've played all bar one game at home. I didn't realize it was a home tournament. I knew they had a few games in Wembley, all right, but the Wembley effect has been massive. No, I'm not giving out about it. I'm just saying it is helping them.
But to the people giving out that have been like, oh, but that's unfair and all this shit. Like the countries were asked, do they want this? Like we were asked, could we hold one in the Aviva and all this, and we said no. So. You know what I mean? Just shout out Boris. Boris wanted a home tourney.
Yeah, everyone knew the terms and conditions before they signed up. Don't complain after the fact.
No, I agree. So,
I can't begrudge that.
Even watching the games, you're living in London, John. Like I'd say the atmosphere around London is sick, but even the games, watching it from home, you can feel the atmosphere, you can hear it. Like it does look quality. It does look class.
Yeah. Them videos outside Wembley are crazy.
Some of the videos I saw today,
I'm
gonna share a couple with you guys afterwards. They're not for public showing, but I'll show them. I can't believe what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
It is crazy. You can only imagine. But that's what I mean. We look at it, and we were all giving out. Like the government won't let 2,000 people into the Aviva. But imagine the scenes if a Euro game was on in Dublin.
Oh, we would be doing fan cams.
The scenes.
Hey, I would have gone up to Dublin. I don't care, man.
It would be scenes. I've never even been to the Viva myself, to be honest. Whenever Ireland are playing them little friendly games, like it's.
Yeah, come on. I've seen a couple of Gibraltar wins. I've been happy.
Yeah, like that sort of games you'll see.
7-0 versus Gibraltar.
What did you make? I don't know who Dara's on about there.
He's the Denmark left wing.
Sorry. Yes. I didn't actually see the game, so I can't say. Suppose my dad, when I got in, I seen the last few minutes. My dad said he's had a great game, but
yeah.
What was he like, John? Is he?
He's a good player. He's definitely a good player. I think he got tired yesterday. So Sterling, once he went to the right-hand side, Sterling really stepped up in extra time. And he was very tired. But
Sterling was immense.
He was immense in extra time, especially. I'll give it to him. He was carrying.
He's so powerful, so crazy.
If he could finish. But one thing I'll say on Sterling, and I've seen a lot of disrespect towards him, myself included, Dermo included, everyone. We're all victim to this because at Man City he doesn't get to showcase how good of a dribbler he is, how good of for beating a player 1-on-1. He is right up there with any winger, any winger.
Yeah,
I think especially with the space they had in Wembley when the game stretched, Denmark are going for them because I seen the last 10-15 minutes of extra time. There's probably no one in world football, maybe bar Adama, with space where you want a player you don't want as a fullback because you're gassed and he's running at you.
Raheem Sterling will make space with 10 men around him. That's the thing about him. If he had the finishing prowess of Harry Kane or anything like that, because he will make space. I've never seen a footballer so good to make space. When he's out on that wing, he's in. Always, and it gets slept on because, well, to be fair, to his own demise, he beats it and then he drills one on the floor straight into the keeper every single time. His ability to make space, and I know when he started and people were questioning Southgate, whatever. But for me, he's been England's best player.
Definitely being England's best player. I think. Yeah. I think he's been England's best player, and I think I'll probably say after him, it's been Maguire or Luke Shaw.
Maguire. I would say Luke Shaw.
Maguire's passing out from the back, but Maguire's passing out from the back is such a great utility for England. When the pressure's on and it doesn't look like a pass on, he just drills one down low, hard to the ground, and he opens up the whole game. One of the most underrated passes in the league, without a doubt. Luke Shaw has been great as well.
And you know what? He's not I don't really rate him that much as a footballer, but
he's somehow Luke Shaw.
Not even Luke Shaw. I was going to say he's almost become a cheat code for England, and that's Kyle Walker.
Yeah,
it's almost like, I swear, anytime there's a ball in behind, he's always there on the recovery, and not even 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, he beats the attacker for pace.
I was on penalty duty last night, so I had to bring that comment up. Was on the.
Did you score? Did you score?
2 penalties, 2 goals. Had to.
I like it. That's good.
Lucky. I would say went down the middle and I got lucky. I would say Bruno Fernandes
goes in. That's
his shit performance got the 2 goals, so I got the 3 bonus points on FPL. That's all that matters, as they say.
He scores the 2 goals, comes on the next day wearing the beater. He's full of confidence.
Had to rest what he wants now. Don't even like NBA really, but I just like the gear.
I was gonna say, isn't that Miami Heat?
Yeah, what's his name on the back? Peter will know him. What's his
Jimmy
name?
Butler?
No,
Bam
Adebayo.
Yeah, him. Yeah, no, can't say I've ever heard him. I know about 3 basketball players: Steph Curry, LeBron. And that's probably about it, to be honest. But I just like the gear, fresh gear. But
fresh.
Yeah, back to Mark's comments.
To matters. Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about the Italians, because I love that. John was saying earlier he's supporting Italy, but I just love that passion. They're they've no standout names. They're a unit. Like, they're such a good team. I think that's what's kind of suiting England as well. They all seem to get on well together. They're just really decent. All 7 out of 10's the whole around the pitch, and I think that's why they've been so effective. Like, we've mentioned Jorginho, but I've enjoyed your man Barella. Peter, you were bigging him up, to be fair, at Inter.
Barella,
you knew about him, I didn't.
Well, I said coming into this tournament,
yeah, you
players
did,
to watch out: Barella, Spinazzola, and Chiesa. And I think most of them have lived up.
Yeah,
I was saying Spinazzola for time, and because I watch a bit of Serie A, and he's looked great. Like, that injury is so unfortunate for them. I think the likes of Sterling now is
yeah.
Chelsea fan.
Mark.
Allow it, man. Yeah, that's a Chelsea fan. Former City fan turned Chelsea fan.
Yeah, but here, how can N'Golo Kante be in the talks for that as well? For me, that's
the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, in the next week, someone's gonna say P for Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, honestly.
It's just being thrown around at the moment. It's just going around at the moment.
That wouldn't be a bad shout though. More likely Jorginho. But no, I was back to my point. What was I saying? Spinazzola. I think that is going to be an issue for them, that full back position now, and that kind of because on that wing, Raheem is like, he's going to look dangerous. The thing I noticed with the Italians as well, and I'm a big fan of Chiellini and Bonucci, but them, and everyone's so happy with how they are with corners. Donnarumma's a big guy. They like the corners, but they don't like the low crosses. I've seen a couple of dodgy ones from Spain, and England love the low crosses.
Harry Kane at the near post, will just get, but like, in all seriousness, he loves that little move though. Like, say Walker gets in the wing and cuts it back or something like that.
Cross the near post podcast.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
A goal. But like, you even seen with that goal the other night, the switch across, and it's that easy for Kier to get down, and that ball could go anywhere. And as it did, it went in the back of the net, and that is going to be an issue for the Italians. But like you said, what class from them. Chiellini doing the toss up for the penalty shootout. Like, I knew straight away once I seen that the game was over.
That was like, one of the funniest things I've seen.
Yeah.
It didn't even make sense. Man was slapping him, punching him.
He was telling him like so I think they won the toss, and Chiellini was like, yeah, I'm going this way, and the man was like, no, you didn't win the toss. And, oh no, I'm going this way. What a joke! I just knew straight away. I was like,
I bet Chiellini lost the toss and made him retake it, and then he won it, and he's like, yeah, he did. Actually, I thought that's what he did. I thought that's what he did as well. Class. What a guy. I love Chiellini, man. Man.
He wouldn't do that to Ramos. I'll tell you that for nothing. But
yeah,
I was chatting to a few of the lads, and we were just thinking, it's mad with Italian defenders. Chiellini's not even. He might be only like the 5th best Italian centre back of all time. We're like, just, I know it's a bit of a side note, but I was kind of chatting, and there's Flawless. Big up to you, lad. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, man. Everyone good?
Big up Flawless.
This is John from Real Ball Talk as well. You guys.
Big up,
bro.
What's going on?
Welcome, bro. But shout to the dugout as well. No, Flawless, we were just saying there, we were chatting about Chiellini, and Italian defenders, he's probably only like the 5th best or something, centre backs of Italian defenders, which is a madness. Pete, you're the Italian expert, kind of. Where would you rank? Like, who's ahead of him? Just 3 or 4 obvious ones.
You putting that on my toes, saying Italian expert. I wouldn't say all that, but yeah, in terms of who's better, yeah, stuff. You got Maldini, who's just Maldini. Yeah. Like, I think most people who watched him, like,
Baresi.
He's your best centre back in it. Baresi was a little bit before Maldini, so I didn't really get to see Baresi like that. But people talk about Baresi. Of course, you got Nesta, who's right up there for me. You got Cannavaro, who's right up there. You got Costa Curta. So that's 4 right there. And it's probably ones we're forgetting about. But Maldini, Cannavaro, Nesta, they stick out. And then you've got Costa Curta as well. But Chiellini's up there, though. You got to give Chiellini his props. 100%. And Bonucci. Yeah. But that's a whole different caliber of defenders you're dealing with.
Was Chiellini in that 06 team? Or was he just not in that? He wasn't in it, no.
No, he wasn't.
I thought maybe he made the bench or something. No, I thought he would just because he's that old. But so he hasn't won anything with Italy. I think he hasn't got a Champions League, and he hasn't got like something with Italy. You know what I mean? He's won probably about 10 Scudettos. Probably
he's won Alex.
Stupid amount. But I think to really put himself in the absolute greats, he needs to win like a Champions League or like a Euros or something. I think just to maybe he doesn't have to. You know what I mean? Right. But all the top boys we just named there have won loads. Well, they've won multiple of the big titles. So I think if he wins that, we can really talk about Chiellini. He's a class act either way. But we were just saying, Floss, what did you make of England last night? We were I didn't get to see most of the game, but they were lucky enough, for I heard. But again, they were putting pressure on at the same time.
Yeah, because people say they were lucky enough, but like I said this before, I said that I'm blaming my defender for that. Like he's in the box. He's not really going to score from there because it's a tight angle. Yeah. I'm talking to my defenders. Why are you getting this close to him? Because if you touch him and he goes down, you're giving the referee and VAR an excuse to go down and that. Sterling was right to go down. I would say that. I'm the England manager. I'm saying people like, he's a cheat. He's this and that and that. Like, it's been done before.
Yeah, it's definitely been done before. But you think it was it wasn't a pen though.
It's one of them, even if
from the referee's view, it's a pen.
Here's the
thing is though, I think the one on Kane that everyone's conveniently
that was a pen.
There was a tackle on the butt.
Yeah,
so that's how I even it out because the Kane one was more of a penalty and VAR messed that up.
Everyone giving out about that. The Damsgaard free kick wasn't a free.
You don't think it was
that should have been a free.
Didn't Luke Shaw grab him?
Luke Shaw grabbed down. He grabbed Christensen. That's a foul. Yeah. And Pickford should do better.
No. The one before Pickford's too small. He actually is too small for them goals.
He just shifted his feet there though. Like all he had to do was shift his feet, like because it's not like he went in the corner of the goal. But that's what I would say about that. But in regards to the penalty, Denmark after they made the triple subs offered nothing. It was like from 60 minutes onwards all the way up until extra time. They offered nothing. So when you just sit back and look for penalties, decisions like that happen. Go for it.
Yeah, those substitutions from Denmark were weird because Damsgaard and Dolberg especially, they were the guys that were picking up the pockets of space.
Yes.
And they weren't afraid to collect it in space and either keep it or just pop it quick and make another angle. Once Poulsen and I feel like they brought on another midfielder that was more of a solid, steady guy that wasn't really running. But he's a shocking footballer. He's bad.
Anywhere. What the only thing he has right is being a bit physical and being a bit tall and lanky, and that's playing right into England's hands.
He was awful.
Look at Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's going to pocket that any day.
He was awful because Denmark were popping. Because Denmark, sorry to cut you off, were popping the ball around nicely. They just didn't have that X factor up top. If they would have had, give them someone off England's bench, Denmark probably win that game. One of the attacking players, give them a Grealish or Sancho or Rashford, someone with that X factor. They just didn't have enough. And England did what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like they beat Denmark in extra time. They're through to the final. Yes, they've had a favorable draw. I think Italy have two, but that's not their fault. Like you're supposed to take advantage of those things.
The thing with Italy and England, like you said, up until they were doing decent, but from now they've kind of just done their job.
Yes,
like they didn't really excel in the semi-finals there, either of them. They just kind of done their job. Either game could have went either way, to be honest. If we were talking about a Spain-Denmark final here, it wouldn't be too out of the blue from what we see. But on that penalty, that's what really annoyed me when people were giving out. Sterling is
I wouldn't give out about Sterling. If I was
he's running into two defenders, and he
was contact.
There's no way he's going to get the ball. He does across.
If I'm going to blame any of the defenders, I don't think I would blame the second one because the second one's just coming on the recovery run. The first one,
from behind him.
The one from behind. The first one is the one that he made that instant movement that he realized shit. And then he pulled his leg back. By that point, Sterling had already made the decision to try and initiate the contact. So
all this given out, right? All this given out we've done all year on VAR about the decisions being too nitpicky and they're going too in depth. And then the UEFA terms are only if it's clear and obvious error by the referee. But now people are still giving out about that.
Nah, the referee
because people just don't like Sterling. Let's just call it what it is. People just don't like Sterling, and that's what it is. And that he has done nothing there that's never been done before, and that. But because it's Sterling, it's this and that. No, let's not add in the fact that he was England's best attacking player. Let's not add in the fact that I think
he didn't even get man of the match.
Dribbles. He didn't even get man of the match, which is criminal. And
he was never going to get though.
He won the penalty. You know what I'm saying? He won the penalty. He was never going to
get. Well, let's say this.
He was never going to get.
You're looking at that from the referee's angle as well. All you see is a defender who's coming behind Sterling, who can't keep up with him, stick a leg out. You see a small bit of contact, and you see him go down. That is a rule. That is terrible defending, and it has to be a penalty.
Well,
it has to be.
if Sterling even just say, let's say he did get clipped and he didn't go there. Let's say he got blatantly clipped and he didn't go there. He wouldn't have got the penalty. We know this. So you're kind of an idiot if you don't go down. Like literally, they could get your jersey pulled.
He's not going anywhere. He can't put the ball anywhere.
He wasn't going anywhere.
He was right.
The defender gave Sterling a bailout.
Yes.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. For me, it's still not a pen. My issue with VAR is purely I don't get the whole clear and obvious error. It should just be if it's not the right decision, you just change it. It doesn't have to be obvious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my only issue.
What's the point in having it? Yeah, what's the point in having it? Just don't have it then.
It's like the guys behind the VAR, like, you know what? That's not a pen, but it's not that obvious. So let me just give anyway.
It's a cop out.
Yeah, we give a benefit.
It's a cop out. It's a cop out.
That's what it is. It's past the book. That's what they do. The ref will pass it to VAR, and the VAR will look at it and then tell the ref on the pitch to go look at the monitor. It's a cop out. Yeah, it's a hot potato. No one can take responsibility.
No,
yes,
how badly do you have to mess it up for them to change the decision?
It has to be, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
was. Man, it was 10 yards offside, but then it looks bad on the ref, so VAR pass check it anyway. But it's weird. Just have VAR or don't have it.
Well, it's actually been good in this tournament. I think it was the Lovren decision. That's the one, the Lovren one when the handball was given against him. That was never a handball.
And the Semedo penalty against France.
Yeah.
Mbappe just literally ran into Semedo.
Yeah.
See that again with that one. Like I'm blaming why the ball's overhit. Why are you nudging him in the back? Because you're so worried. Like the ball's overclipped. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying it. Yo, why are you nudging him in the back? Don't nudge him in the back, and then it's not a conversation.
Was that in the back?
To me, he was in the back. He
nudged him in the back. Ran into him.
Nah. He nudged him in the back. Look at it. If you look at the ball clipped, he's looking at the ball and look at it again, and the tomato goes into the back of him again. I'm telling my defenders to be smart because at first it looks soft and it is a soft penalty, but you're giving the referees an excuse. Don't do that. The ball had been overhit. Don't do that, and then there's no penalty given.
Yeah, they give everything these days, I guess.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful. Yeah. Don't challenge. Stay on your feet.
These days, yeah.
Well, Flawless, obviously follow you on Twitter, and you weren't believing the Italy hype train early doors after this. What do you make of them now?
Again, so have they surprised me? Yes, in terms of how good they've been. I still don't get the hype in terms of they've beat everybody you expect them to beat, bar probably Belgium. And again, people take this as a shot at them when I say this. They've had a favorable draw and they've doing what they're supposed to. The best team they've played is Belgium with a half-fit De Bruyne and no Hazard. So they faced a Hazardless Belgium, you know what I'm saying? No Hazard and a half-fit De Bruyne who finds out has ligament damage. Yes, you're supposed to beat them, and I give them credit for that. But I just didn't get the whole hype with it and after they beat Turkey and Switzerland. That was my thing. If you pick them before the tournament, cool. But then they beat Turkey and Switzerland and all of a sudden they're going to win the tournament. And people have been going on about this 33-game run, which is impressive. But look at who they faced. They haven't faced the top nation. Go look at I literally looked up I kept hearing about it. So I was like, let me go look at these fixtures. And then I'm like, you man have it. The best team they've probably played is maybe Belgium or Holland in this run. And again, that's not a shot at them. They're doing what they're supposed to do because that's not Italy's fault who they play. You know what I'm saying? It's not, but I'm still not going to be like, oh my God, this Italians. And if they win it, props to them. They deserve to win it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is with Italy. I just didn't understand the hype with it.
Defend your boys, John.
You know what? I can't even blame Flores, to be honest, because I think you guys know me with Arsenal. Like, I don't defend my team if there's no reason to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was talking about the unbeaten run. I don't get since when have going unbeaten in like the qualifiers mattered? When half the time you're playing against Andorra or Liechtenstein or Gibraltar. So why does that now matter? Going unbeaten.
I like this guy.
It just sounds really good.
So
it sounds
good. It sounds good.
I'll make a comparison to Liverpool, and I hate to diss our own boys, but remember when everyone was raving about that Van Dijk stat, never been dribbled? Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit.
It's a bit cringy. It's like a typical Twitter cringy thing.
Everyone's so stat obsessed nowadays.
It has to lead to
everything's become technical.
Me, the stat should be alongside the trophy, the winning. Van Dijk not being dribbled past is great. Liverpool say having the best defense in the league at that time is great. Did you win a trophy at the end? If you win a Premier League, those stats hail out. Like people, I'm a United fan. People do that all the time. And that
the away record for United.
We had this away record. There's teams who we were unbeaten for the whole season or whatever away from home, but there's teams who accumulated more points than we did on the road. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
I think City got more points on the road, so that just lets me know there's so many draws in there, which like lets you know. I'm interested in stats. What are the trophies? What did you win at the end?
Yeah.
Because if Italy lose against England, what's this unbeaten run? If they win, cool, it's a nice cherry on top, or 35 games and beaten, or however many it is. But that's how I look at it. When,
do you know when people talk about like and goals outside the box and all? If the ball went in the back of the net, like that's all that matters. At the end of the day, it's not about how it was done, when it was. It's results. Nothing else matters. Yeah. I think that's been really humbling this tournament. When we've seen, people bringing up the Pogba stat, all this shit, like what happened then? No, but what did all them passes do?
Nah, he was the best player.
Pogba was brilliant.
I didn't mean to select Pogba.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But
I didn't mean to select Pogba, but you look at Pogba made this many passes. But what shit doesn't matter if at the end of the day you lose?
Yes,
it doesn't matter.
And you know what? I think that's a great point because it's like Pedri the other day, right, against Italy. We all watched
Spain
the game.
Dominated.
We all knew Pedri had a brilliant game, right? I didn't need someone to tell me after the game he completed 56 out of 56 passes to know it was a good game.
Just say he was class.
How many goals did they score?
Good. I didn't need to know that. So yeah, but stats are mad now, man.
It's like I was watching. Oh, sorry, Foss. I was watching the game with Mail fella, and like he was just like, "Who's that Pedri fella?" Just watch half an hour of it. He's like, "Geez, he looks like a class act," but he doesn't need to know. Yeah, he completed this amount of passes. He's got this many assists. Blah 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 blah. You can just see he's a young prospect balling at the top stage. That's all you need to know, really.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know.
But remember people like when Thiago first came to us and they were raving like, "Oh, he had the most touches in a half in Premier League." Like, who the fuck made that?
That was
who is counting?
Chelsea thing. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was mad.
I didn't like Liverpool fans speaking about that. I remember that.
He took the longest piss in Premier League history.
To this.
I don't care.
Yeah, they both have had favourable draws, and that's not shot again at Italy and England. They've had favourable draws, but they've dealt with them. The draws are not the fault of the teams in that.
But you know what? Flawless, yeah. When you think the fact that they've both had favourable draws and they've been split apart, don't you think that shows that the quality? I feel like we've had so many close games at this tournament that it indicates there's no great teams.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I was saying this.
I feel like everything was gassed after that group stage.
Oh, hugely.
I think the quality of football has dipped. Like that's what this is, because I'm watching this like more as a neutral. Because it's like, with England, I'm not like I don't hate England, but I'm not like an avid England supporter. So I'm just watching all these games as just a neutral. I'm just watching them as a neutral. So then I don't have any biases or anything. So I'm watching and I'm like, football is really like, even when you look at people, someone asked me a question on one of the streams I was on, was like standout players of the tournament. And I was like, it's more so teams. Team, like even with Italy and England, you could say Sterling, you could maybe say Jorginho, but normally in tournaments there's 4 or 5 standout players. Whereas I think the teams have been better. Like Denmark played well as a team. You know what I'm saying? Italy have been played well as a team. There's it's not really been individual magic in it at all, and that's not a shot. That's just me looking. Because I think defensively everyone's been good, and England and Italy deserve to get to the final.
Even when you look on top scorers and Ronaldo,
is Ronaldo still top?
Yeah, well, he's joined. I'm fairly sure.
Wow,
that's what I mean. There hasn't been anyone who's, been banging in the goals, doing all this and that. Maybe a guy who's had 2 or 3 games, like Dahlberg had 2 or 3 games, Schick had 2 or 3 games. But that's like it's all kind of been like systematic, teams playing well as a whole.
Yes,
and
defensively solid. Don't give much away, and let's try and use our magic up top. And then the problem is that even if you look at the 2 teams, England are separate, but if you look at Italy in their front 3 positions, they're decent, but there's no.
They're all decent.
Yeah, Denmark, there's no X factor. Croatia, Czech Republic, all of these teams I'm naming, there's no. I'm watching and I'm like, if one of these teams had a baller or the X factor up top, they win. Hazard got injured for Belgium, same thing.
But it's like this: you couldn't even back. You're going into the game and say if you're a betting man, you don't even know who to back to score because it could be anyone on the pitch.
Maybe Kane would be the most obvious, but like even just because it's Kane. But Kane hasn't been. He's gotten a few goals, but he hasn't been outstanding. I think he's grown into the tournament. But I think if Kane gets, like, say England win 1-0 and Kane gets a penalty, he'll win player of the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be.
I think it should be Sterling. To be honest, I think it should be Sterling.
It's between Sterling and Jorginho now, and whoever wins.
Then he'd need to actually be respected and actually get a bit of praise.
I'm glad you said it and not me. You know what I'm saying? Because the disrespect to him
you know how it goes for this.
Wild.
Even from Liverpool fans, Sterling gets beat. But like when Sterling made that move all them years ago, like why wouldn't he? He's won a stupid amount of titles. He's making more money. We got good money for him at the time. Like 50 million back then was probably about 70 million now, sort of thing.
A lot of money. Yeah.
It's not like Sterling really down tools with us. He maybe was kind of not at his best, but he never really like refused to train as and Sterling as well in the media always comes across mad humble and stuff. Whenever you see him in the interview, it's like, oh yeah, even the thing he grew up outside Wembley, I think, and then he has the tattoo or whatever. I think that's quality. Like,
remember when he got the assault rifle on his leg as well, and they didn't even ask the meaning. He just got slated in the media that day.
Yeah. He left Liverpool like Suarez did. Suarez left as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not players leave clubs. These things happen, and it was the right move. Like you said, look at the amount of things he's won. He's won.
It's justified. It's been justified. So
yes, it's been justified. Sterling, I think Sterling's had to go through so much that when I look at him, even how he speaks, he seems like the real leader for me of the England team.
Yeah,
like he's very, very level-headed. He speaks with a calm tone.
How is Kane captain?
Yeah, we know why. But
like he does not lead.
He doesn't lead, but he doesn't need to lead.
Yeah, I think just because he's the best player, sort of thing. It's one of them. Yeah. He is England's best player in most people's eyes. So he kind of Tottenham captain. You know what I mean? He's got the MBE for them, doesn't he? He has an MBE, I think. Well, Rashford has one as well. But they're all.
Well, Rashford deserved his MBE.
But just on England flawless, we were saying, like, let's be honest, before the tournament, me and Peter were slating Gareth Southgate. We were absolutely saying this lad. But like, I think he's overachieved already by getting them to the final. We've already apologized, so we won't be doing it again.
Here's the thing. He's done what you can't complain about. You can't complain about the results. And if they win the Euros, it's like he's won the Euros. You know what I'm saying? It might not be in the previous style. Could he utilize the players he has more? But he would have reached a semi-final in his last tournament. Now he's reached the final. Even if they lose the final, it's like, man's reached the semi-final and the final again. Favorable draws, but that's not Southgate's fault. He's doing what he's supposed to have done. Yeah, because if England didn't reach the final, everyone would be kicking off.
It goes back to that point, flawless, of, you know, it doesn't matter how you get it done, because could he have played Grealish? Could he have played Sancho more and done all this? But doesn't matter. They won the games. What? You know, what are you going to complain about? They literally done every single thing. Like I said about the teams, they haven't really excelled, but they've just done their job. And that's all you can really ask.
Been efficient. Yeah. That's what they've done. They've been efficient. And he answered the question I was asking is, all right, what do you do when you got a goal down? And they responded. Yes, again, they're not playing against a team like Denmark who can really hurt you like that. But they responded in the right fashion, won the game. Simple as that. And like, it's pragmatic, but it's working. Portugal,
and if you're looking at it, Flores just mentioned it there. If you look at it, Portugal, they don't have the best manager. 2016, they did the same thing. Even France in 2018, France sit back a lot more than people think. They've got brilliant players, but Deschamps, for some reason, wants them to play this counter-attacking system.
We rattled France
against Belgium against Belgium. Yeah, I remember that game 2-1.
Oh, those scenes. We were 1-0 at half time.
But you know that is with Deschamps. That's him as a player, though. So for those that don't know, Deschamps was a DM and
DM.
That's his mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Mentality. Yeah, exactly. So I think it shows that this style of football has been working in international. Like, we've gone from Spain's tiki-taka. And people have said, nah, let's just go the opposite of this.
Let's just play football.
Or the Brazilian player from 10 years ago, like that's 2 and stuff. They were just like freakishly good players. I think you're not really going to get like a Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. Like I think they're kind of once in a
lifetime.
Yeah, they are.
Neymar's the last one.
Yeah, exactly. But I have to throw this up.
Southgate's doing it right. Southgate have you, and you're in the pub, and you're like this. You're sleeping into your pint, and Oh, goal.
You know,
Bang,
and one of our
back asleep.
watchers against Ukraine.
That's
one
what
of
happens.
One of our panelists fell asleep. One of the guys for half an hour
Yeah.
in, man, fell asleep watching the game.
Yeah,
Legit.
That was the
Bro,
best performance, probably
You know what I'm
England's best
saying?
performance.
And that was the second half more so of that. But yeah, we conked out. It's like it was just so. And as a neutral, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, entertain me in it. That's what I'm here for. And and play better football. But obviously, Southgate got a job to do. And like we said, minus Spain, probably in international football, most competitions are won that way. We have to go all the way back to Brazil. If you look at Greece, look at Portugal, you look at Italy. They're all pragmatic. Even France, they played a little bit more. They did a little bit more going forward, but that's because of the talent they had. Even they weren't playing free-flowing football.
Exactly, yeah.
Considering most of us here then are quite neutral enough anyway, what has been your most enjoyable game to watch? I'll ask everyone.
I'll let you man go first.
So, yeah, John.
I'll go first.
John, I'm going to go to you first.
All right, let's go. John, go first.
Oh, man. I'd say, well, for me, it's between two. I'd probably say Croatia, Spain. I thought that was a quality, even though the defending was horrible, but it was a great game because Croatia showed mad fight. And I would say, you know what? Funny enough, I feel like the most stressful game in a way was France-Switzerland. Like that game was tense. That game was tense, and obviously some of the Pogba scored a brilliant goal. Benzema's goal was mad underrated because that first touch is being slept on. Like,
it's because they didn't go through. It's kind of forgot about, isn't it?
Yeah. That touch is silly, and he finished it with his left foot as well. Chip, like, he did it all brilliant, and then obviously, so I think that game we went to penalties and everything. Mbappe missing it, so I have to say that's probably the most intense game of the tournament, but maybe the best game. I'll probably say maybe Croatia, Spain. Italy, Spain was very good as well.
Facts. I'd say I have to say that France game. That France game was like perfect for football Twitter. Granit Xhaka masterclass, Paul Pogba masterclass. I think it was just like
Xhaka, man.
You know what I mean? Like, I have to bring up Xhaka because he was.
Don't bring up Xhaka, man, please.
He's looking fresh in that.
Don't bring up Xhaka, please.
It was one of them games where it had a bit of everything. I enjoyed it. To be honest, because Pogba put on an absolute clinic. I'm not even gonna lie. But
when you played that ball to Mbappe,
you did a little wet one on.
I think it was the one. I think it was the outside the foot one. I think it was a volley.
Oh man!
I don't know. I think it was Coleman, or he done a little drag back with his studs, like, and put on like Mbappe could have had a hat trick. He could have had 3 assists. But I'll try not to. Yeah, that's my game. I just thought even the penalties was entertaining. I just thought it was different gravy.
I got to follow with the man. I got that France-Switzerland game for me. I had everything because you had Switzerland going ahead, the Benzema goal, which is being slept on because it's Benzema. Like the pass from Mbappe wasn't actually a good pass, and the fact he's managed to kill it dead, and then with enough pace in front of him for him to be able to dink the goalkeeper, but not too much pace so the keeper can block it, and that's all with his wrong foot as well. Like most men would twist themselves up doing that. So then you had the France come back, then you had Switzerland coming back, and then you had the drama of extra time. I think Coleman hit the post, and then and then the penalties as well, and Mbappe stepping up. So for me, France-Switzerland in terms of entertainment as well. Like, and they both went for it. Terrible defending especially from France as well. But yeah, man, great game to watch in that. Like that's what we watch the game for. Is things like that.
Besides them games that have come on and that big French game. One that actually surprised me in the group stages. I can remember it so well. It was a Sunday, and I was at the pub.
Czech and Scotland?
No. Netherlands and Ukraine.
I watched that. I watched that in the pub actually.
I remember this.
I remember watching that with a few.
One of the games I missed, and people keep saying this, and I missed it.
That was a good game.
Yarmolenko's a screamer.
The cagiest first half of football. One of the cagiest halves I've ever seen, and then bang, 5 goals in the second half. And that was a good game. Now I just remember that one because I remember that was my first game, like one of the first games in the tournament. When I was like, this is going to be interesting. I've seen Ukraine showing bits of class, Netherlands looking shaky, and I was like, this is going to be a good tourney. But yeah, definitely you can't overlook that French one. But I'm gonna shout out Netherlands and Ukraine.
Yeah, that was when Wijnaldum turned it on a bit.
Yeah,
stages, anyways.
Class was permanent.
Yeah, class act. But right, just before we finish up, we'll look into the final in depth a bit. I'll go with you first, John. Well, Italy, what are you saying? Italy, like who's? It's probably
Spaghetti Mafia.
Yeah, it's probably a 50-50 game. Maybe 55-45 sort of thing. Like it's. I think it's going to be a cagey one personally. I think.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
It's a really hard game to call because England have the fans advantage obviously at Wembley. What will be interesting to see is just how many Italian fans take up the allocation because there's a lot of Italians in London.
Okay.
So that would be interesting. I don't know if they've got a limit on how many Italian fans they can have. So that's something that we'll find out at kickoff because I think Denmark had like 7,000 yesterday. So that wasn't that bad for them. I think the stadium
I don't know.
Yeah, they had like 7,000 yesterday, so that wasn't that bad. And I'm expecting Italy to have at least 10. You know what? I think my head's saying Italy will win, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if England were to win because it kind of feels like it's meant to be. I can't lie. This whole tournament
it's so meant to be in Wembley.
It feels like it's meant to be. So, but Italy overall, I would say Italy have the better midfield. They probably have, the defenses are comparable.
That's exactly where I was going to go with it.
But
to my talking point.
Yeah, sorry, sorry, man. Sorry.
You know what you're talking about. Man, to my whole talking point. That's exactly what I was thinking. Carry on, though. So
just evaluate on it.
But and I think England probably have the better from free. England probably have the better from free. Obviously, I'd always pick Grealish. I might sound mad, but I personally think Grealish, if played or once he goes to City, is actually England's best player. But for now, people don't see.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Eventually, people will see that. But I think Italy's fullbacks, Emerson and Di Lorenzo, are not the best defensively. Saka, Sterling could. So it's a 50-50 game, but I'll go with Italy. I'll go with Italy.
Had to back Smart. What are you saying, Flawless?
I'm unsure on it because, like John just said there about obviously midfield defense, you would favor Italy and say, but England have the X factor on the pitch in them forward areas and off the bench as well, which can be key. Say it's Sterling, Kane, Saka, and Mount. Then you still got Grealish, Sancho, Rashford, Calvert-Lewin, Foden. Look at the players I'm naming to come off the bench and change it. Yeah, so it's kind of like in the final third where it is going to matter. Yes, England can get at him, but we know the Italians, especially with Donnarumma in goal as well, are defensively solid. So I reckon it's going to be it's a final as well. So these players are going to be under immense pressure in that. So we could see tense nerves. I think that's why we've seen so many penalty shootouts and so many extra times, is because you don't want to make that mistake. This is tense situations, finals. It's at Wembley, so as much as that helps England, it's also added pressure.
Yeah,
Italy trying to win. You get me? Their first major tournament since the World Cup in 2006. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to. So I'm unsure. I legit don't know. I think a lot of it rides on what team Southgate picks. That's what I would say. That could swing it more in England's favor to me. But it's going to be close.
But the fact that, like you're saying about Italy, like they didn't even qualify for 2018, so they are underdogs coming into this. But one thing I'll say with England, it's because they conceded that goal against Denmark and 1-0. I was curious, what's going to happen here, because they haven't really been tested.
Yes.
And if they hadn't have been tested going into this final, I would have said I think Italy will win, because if they get the upper hand, they get a goal. I don't know how England are going to react. But after seeing how they came back against Denmark, I'm quite confident with England, to be honest. I'm actually quite confident.
Okay. I'm not sure. Because this is another stat as well, because Italy have had a penalty shootout in this tournament, but England haven't, if I'm correct in saying that.
I think
Italy had one.
Last one.
Italy against.
Yes, they did. Yes,
Spain,
because it was saying, it was a stat that I got told, and it was saying how no team has won two penalty shootouts in the same tournament. So it's kind of like, if it does go to penalty, does that swing towards England, or the Italy?
Yeah, but then it's England again and penalties.
Penalties in it. It would just be like England to lose a penalty shootout in the final against
Wembley.
At Wembley at home. Yes.
I'm not going to lie. If
see Dermot smiling.
No, but if Pickford's the hero for like an England penalty shootout win, I'm gonna have to turn off Sky Sports forever, I think, or just not look like I just like I just don't like Pickford. I didn't like him before the Van Dijk challenge. I just hate him even more.
Yeah,
he's just so. Look, Pickford. I've said it all tournament. Jordan Pickford is due a big mistake.
Yeah.
Big up Quigley there, but he's due a big mistake. And I'm saying it now.
Scary,
I'm coming with an outrageous statement. There's a Pickford howler in this final. He's due.
He's going all the way to howler.
Yeah, no, I'm saying there's a Pickford mistake coming.
Green sentence.
Yeah. There's a Pickford clanger or something coming. I just can't see a tournament where Jordan Pickford is that solid. He's just it's not in his DNA.
Yesterday though.
The Golden Glove's guaranteed already, so
he can have his goal.
After the goal, his head was gone.
He can have his Golden Glove, but I just think he might try. Yeah. He'll get overconfident with something, start cheering. I don't know. I don't know if you remember Pickford. He was jeering up the Newcastle fans when he was playing with Everton. Obviously, he was a Sunderland, and then I think like 10 minutes later he let in an absolute howler or something. I think it was in St James's Park. Something like that with Pickford to happen. I just can't.
The concentration levels.
Pickford. Yeah,
he doesn't have the mentality.
I think it'll go to extra time though. It'll be like a 1-1. It'll be really cagey. I think there's so much pressure on England though because they've got the way. It's just the Wembley. I don't know if England win, they completely deserve it because I think it's 70-something years since they won that World Cup, isn't it? It's something stupid.
It's like 60.
Yeah.
I just can't believe England have went that long without winning the tournament. Big up Jacko there, but shout out to Jack. But I can't believe it's that long with the quality of players England have produced, and it's 75 years.
That's what I'm saying.
It does seem like destiny.
Teams around.
Nah, I can't back England. I'm going to say Italy after penalties. 1-1 to extra time and penalties.
Okay.
2-1 England for me.
2-1 England.
Can't call it. I legit don't know. I can't call this.
It's hard. I can't lie. It's mad hard to call.
I don't know in it because there's not one team where I think are clear of another. Normally in the finals, there's a team that you're like, even if it's 60-40, I can't even say that if there's one team, it might be 55-45, maybe to Italy because they have the bad
50,
team overall.
This is
it's kind of like as most.
Yeah, this is literally 50-50.
I agree. I'm kind of saying that Pickford thing with my heart more than my head, to be honest. It's more out of hope than expectation. But
you're hoping for a blunder.
I'm hoping for a Pickford blunder. And I don't know. I hate to be that guy, but look, I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. It's good to be back, Pete. Pete's obviously repping that Blue Yeti. Mine is coming soon, hopefully. So we're making a few upgrades.
Yeah, he's lovely in that.
Yeah,
it's lovely, man.
Yeah, sweet.
We needed some motivation. It's been like 3 uploads in the last month. So
we have been slacking, so but we will be getting back into it, especially with the Euros gone.
Get back into it.
We'll get the transfer talk going. We'll just get general. Let's be honest. There's nothing better than a bit of general ball chat, like just where it could go any direction, sort of thing. But we'll be back sometime. What, Pete? Next week, chatting about Pickford's clanger and all of that. Probably.
Yeah. I can't second that, but yeah, early
Pete's
next
on England
week.
train late, but big up to the guests. We obviously had to come with some quality guests for our first live stream back, but go subscribe to Real Ball Talk. We've been on their channel, they've been on ours. Boys know their ball, and shout out to Jalil as well. He called the England hype from the very start, and he stuck to his guns. So shout out to Jalil there. He's looking like he's good, and obviously Flawless Sarcasm City. They just hit 3,000. You're doing the NBA watch-alongs as well, Flawless, aren't you?
Yeah,
like I've seen the Copa America.
Yeah, I've been seeing them
as well,
the NBA ones.
Quality. Actually, can we just before we finish, little Copa America prediction final: Brazil, Argentina. You've been
Messi to choke again.
Hopefully Messi does it. I hope Messi does it. I hope Messi does it because
I hope he does it just for the lols, for the pure jokes.
I need it for Ronaldo still. I can't.
I'm a Ronaldo fan myself.
And obviously, I like Neymar as well. So
just for the bands.
It's just the Liverpool players haven't been playing for Brazil, so I'm leaning towards.
I think you have to end it though. The Ronaldo Messi on, Messi has maybe one more Ballon d'Or and Ronaldo has the international tournament, and we just leave it at that and let bygones be bygones.
Yeah,
everyone has a favorite.
The Messi stands just get upset when you say he's 0-4 in international finals. Like he played in the finals and that. People get on my case when I say he's 0-4 in finals. Like that's people get mad at me for telling the facts. Go watch.
You boys love the stats.
Yeah. He lost back-to-back.
Yeah.
He lost back-to-back. He lost back-to-back finals to Chile, innit? He missed the penalty, cried, and retired. And then Ronaldo had to call him to get him back. Like,
bro, that's the one. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one.
People get mad at me when I say that. Like, yo, he missed the penalty.
Man literally retired. Said, "Nah, I'm done with."
I'm done. And then Kane lost again.
I'm done.
And then they said, "Oh, you don't have to pay tax for another year." He comes straight back. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, but the Copa America final to me is very similar to the Euros final. Like when you look at the teams, I look at Brazil and I think defensively the field they're better than Argentina, but Argentina are better in the final third. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. Because Brazil obviously you got Casemiro, you got Fabinho, you got Fred, you got all these players. You got Thiago Silva at the back, Marquinhos. But then when you look forward line, I've been watching all the Brazil games during Copa America. Apart from Neymar, they got nothing else.
They got some.
Did I hear Fred's name sneaked in there?
Yeah, man, of course, shameless. You know what I'm saying? That he's been playing in that. Shameless.
Yeah, Fred has been playing, I heard. I haven't seen much of the games, but Fred has been playing over.
I'm just saying there's a theme with Liverpool's midfielders being on the bench, but here we are. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind that. They can stay on the bench. They'll be fit and ready to go. I don't care. I honestly don't care. Way to look at it.
But yeah, then when you look at Argentina's forward line with Di Maria, Messi, Aguero, they have more in the final third. So it'll be interesting to see how they both weigh up both in the finals.
Look, if Messi could score a hat-trick and they could lose 4-3, Messi would be getting the slated. Messi just needs to put in a shit performance in Argentina.
That's the nature of the game.
It's literally just when he's that
good. Jokes aside, I'd like Argentina to win because it's the kind of criminal that someone the caliber of Messi doesn't have an international.
I want him to win just for that.
Yeah, man.
But if he doesn't win, I don't really care.
It's jokes, isn't it? Jokes and banter.
I have to shout out Emi Martinez just before we finish. I thought that's some of the best shit house I've ever seen. Even Messi as well. Because even I seen the Yerry Mina clip and I actually enjoyed the dance. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the absolute as you say, shamelessness. And it wasn't even just a little, it was a full dance. Quarter-final or something, second penalty, and he just does that. So
big up Arsenal for embarrassing himself again.
Emi Martinez.
Arsenal, man. Every time, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Big up Arsenal.
That's my team, but hey, they're embarrassing. Can't lie.
That was a quality stream, quality guest. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, like the video, all that good stuff.
Make sure you do, people.
We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.